Yeah, before we go into the depth of this OINP Human Capital Priority Stream process, we have to understand the process of this stream. The first of all, you have to take your language test, and then I will mention everything in detail, later on, what language test, approved language test you required. And then second documents you need to arrange is your foreign credential documents assessment report, which is called ECA through designated bodies. And the third one is you have to determine your national occupational classification code for the past work experience which you have done in your back home country. The second step is you have to then, when you will arrange all the English language test and your educational credential assessment report and you have determined your national occupation classification code for your past work experience, then second step you're supposed to create your express entry profile. And how do you do that? You just click on this link and it will take you to the some questions, and then you have to respond to those questions, and on the basis of your response they will determine whether you are eligible to apply for this stream or not. So I will not click here, because if you want you can go to Google and type the same line, this one, then you will get the canada.ca website, and you just click there and it will take you to the questionnaire there. Once they will decide whether you are eligible to apply for this human capital priority stream, okay, on the basis of the responses for those questions right here, and then the site will create a reference number for you if you qualify in one of the two federal stream. The first stream is Federal Skilled Worker Program, or the second one is your Canadian Experience Class. Okay, once you get your reference number, the fourth step, then you have to create your express entry profile using the reference number. Okay, you will use your reference number, this one, when you will create your express entry profile. Okay, the fifth step is now get express entry profile number and job seeker validation code. Okay, that on fifth number, when you will get your reference number, okay, after creating your express entry profile, then you will get your profile number and your job seekers validation code. The sixth one is if you get notification of interest from OINP Human Capital Priority Stream, then you need number fifth. Then you need this job profile number and job seekers validation code. Okay, so to apply for this stream, it will be the last step. First of all, you have to create your online profile, okay, through this link. And before this creation of your express entry profile, you have to arrange 3 mandatory documents, which in the questionnaires they will ask you so many questions about your language test result and your educational equivalency and your national occupation classification code for your past experience. So guys, before you apply almost all Canadian streams, and Canadian immigration streams, you need these 3 documents, before you apply for any stream. Okay, now let's start the video in detail. Hello guys, this is from MILLENNIUM Immigration Canada. Today we will discuss about one new stream, that is for Human Capital Priority Stream, and it is this stream which comes under Ontario Immigration Nominee Program, and we will learn how to apply for the nomination for permanent residence in Ontario if you meet the required skill, work experience, education, language abilities, and then you are good to go. So for this Human Capital Stream, you require no codes are mentioned down there, like computer information system managers, they can apply for that, and computer engineers, database analysts and data administrators, software engineers and designers, computer programmers, interactive media developers, and web designers and developers. All these no codes also mentioned, like the 0213, these are no codes. So these no codes, if you have experience in this field, then this Human Capital Priority Stream is good for you guys. And the good thing is that you don't need job offer in Canada. So the OINP targeted candidates with a comprehensive ranking system score between 462 and 470. It means that if you scored between 462 and 470 in express entry pool, then you got invitation from OINP to apply for your permanent for this stream, which leads to your permanent residence. Overview of the program, it gives foreign workers with your required skilled work experience, language abilities and education the opportunity to apply to permanently live and work in Ontario. You must have a valid profile in Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada, which is in short form called IRCC's Express Entry System. First of all, you must have your valid profile in Express Entry System. Then you will receive a notification of interest from Ontario. Ontario is a province of Canada. Before you can apply online to be nominated by the Ontario government for permanent residence. And the third one, last stage, is once you are nominated, your next step is to apply for your permanent residence. What you need to do, before you can create your profile in IRCC Express Entry System, you must have to take your English language test, and then you have to assess your foreign credentials for education documents if you got one from outside of Canada. And you have to determine your national occupation classification code for your past work experience. Suppose if you are a software engineer in Canada or in India or in Philippines or in China, then you have to go to national occupation classification here, and then you have to see what code of national occupation classification is relevant to your past work experience. Now, once you got all these three things like language test and educational credential assessment report, and the third one is your national occupation classification code for your past work experience, then you are good to create your Express Entry profile. To qualify for Ontario Express Entry Human Capital Parties stream, you must meet the requirements of one of these federal immigration programs. You have to choose one of them. When you will be creating your profile, there will be option which program you are going to use. Either a federal skilled worker program or Canadian Experience Class program. And then they will assess you through these programs requirements. Before you apply, you have to create a profile in IRCC Express Entry System. I just mentioned that. And then for that purpose, you go to that side, that this is a link here. So suppose if you click here, it will ask you a number of questions, and then you will answer those questions, and on the basis of those responses, the Express Entry System will indicate whether you qualify for the Federal Express Entry Program or not. Guys, on the Google, if you write down the same thing, like do you want to come to Canada as a skilled worker immigrant, you will find, like in the Google, if you find the canada.ca website, then just click that site, that is the authentic one, and then go to that site and answer the questions, and then they will let you know that whether you are eligible to create your profile or not. If you qualify, you will be provided with a reference number. If you are qualifying, then they will issue a reference number that can be used to create an online profile in the Express Entry System. So you need a reference number to create your Express Entry profile. Once you create your profile, you will receive an Express Entry profile number and a job seekers validation code. Okay, this is important. You will need these numbers if you receive a notification of interest from Ontario and wish to apply to Ontario's Express Entry Human Capital Parties stream. You must have to make sure that you met all mandatory requirements before you can apply for this Human Capital Priority stream. Understand the application process. Please note that from the date you receive a notification of interest issued by the Ontario government for Ontario's Express Entry Human Capital Parties stream, you have 45 calendar days to apply to this stream. Okay, for this stream to apply, once you will have to get your notification of interest from the Ontario government, from the OINP. Okay, once you receive that notification of interest from that day, you have only 45 calendar days to apply for this stream, which is called Human Capital Priorities stream. And how do you apply for that? You have to go to OINP e-filing portal there, and then it will guide you throughout the process. Okay, this process will take creating your e-filing portal. It will take 3 hours to complete the application, but you don't need to sit in one shot. You have to complete the part of the application and save it okay, and then return back to your work and complete some part of the work and then save it. In this way you can complete your 3 hours. You don't need to sit 3 hours continuously. You can complete the application yourself or have a representative complete it on your behalf. It means that you can hire IRC, Canadian Immigration Regulatory Consultant. So you can if they are authorized. Authorized means you are paying for them. They will do everything for you. They will create a profile for you guys on OINP filing portal. Okay. The fees to apply for this application is your 1,500 Canadian dollars, and you have to pay this money by credit card. They only accept Visa, Visa debit, MasterCard, and MasterCard debit. Number 4, have your supporting documents ready. You must have to ready your all supporting documents, to be scanned and uploaded in your online application. And once you get notification of uploading your documents, that must be scanned and uploaded in your online application. Refer to the document checklist for Ontario Express Entry Human Capital Stream. This is a checklist here. Just click here. Ontario Express Entry Human Capital Priority Streams Application Checklist. This is very important thing. So you will have to submit notification of interest from Ontario. Identity documents, I don't want to click here, what are the identity documents here. Status documents in Canada, like your visitors records, your work permit, and so on. Your educational transcripts, your language test result, and documents to show employment in Ontario, if you have any. Work history documents, documents to demonstrate that you meet settlement funds requirements. Okay, if you are accompanying with your family, then you have to show a funds requirement also. Your resume, other optional documents, and family documents. Guys, if you go down here, you will see here notification of interest in Ontario identity documents, status documents in Canada. This is the summary of the documents here. So, identity documents, you need photographs, passports, status documents in Canada. Okay, the legal documents like work permit, study permits, temporary residence visa, and other Canadian immigration documents, and so on. So I don't want to go in the depth of this list here. So one of the documents, suppose if that is not in English or in French language, you must have to translate either in English or French, and you must provide a copy of the original document and a notarized translation of documents. Okay, if you click here, document translation and notarization, for more information, you will get more information about document translation and notarizations. Mandatory requirements. There are 7 categories you must have to meet as a requirements. As I already mentioned, that you don't need a job offer for this stream. So first one is your work experience. You must decide which of the following 2 federal programs you would like to be assessed against. Okay, either federal skilled worker program or Canadian experience class. You have to decide first. If you decided one, then you can go ahead. Okay, suppose if you have decided federal skilled worker program, you must have at least 1 year of continuous paid full-time work experience or the equivalent in the paid part-time work in skill type 00 means manager position, or skill level A means professional doctor, engineers, accountants, or the B skills or trade people of the National Occupation Classification NOC. Okay, this is very, very important. Your work experience must have been obtained within the last 5 years from the date of submitting your application to the OINP. Suppose if you are applying for this stream in 2020, you must got this experience between 2015 to 2020 in the same primary occupation as you identified in your express entry profile. You may have gained your work experience in Canada or overseas, so no problem for this federal skilled worker program. Okay, there is no restriction for you guys either you have got this experience in Canada or overseas, they will accept that. And continuous means no break in employment, okay, over a one period of time. Some people, they have self-employment, they don't have any jobs in the company, so they have self-employment experience. They are using periods of self-employment, and they will need to provide employment documentation that is independently verifiable through third parties. This can include client reference letters indicating your duties and priorities and periods of work, as well as evidence of ongoing payments. Payments means if you are running your shop or something, then invoices. Your client must have to provide some invoices. Please also note that your hours of self-employed work must be quantifiable to ensure that you are completed at least 1,560 hours or 1 year of employment. So in 1 year, The documents must show that you have met 1,560 hours in 1 year period of time. The second federal programs category is Canadian experience class. You must have at least 1 year of cumulative paid full-time work experience or the equivalent in paid part-time work in Canada. I will mention what is full-time and what is part-time by like paid work experience in the later pages. So in the skill type 0 means manager position, skill level A means professional doctor, engineers or accountants or so on. Okay, positions or the B skills people or trade people of the NOC. Your work experience must have been received within the last 3 years from the date of submitting your application. Suppose if you are applying into the 2020, then you must have got this experience between 2017 to 2020. In one or more of the occupations that you identified in your express entry profile, when you will create your express entry profile, you will have to mention like how many types of jobs you have got, and that you will show through your no course. So in one or more of the occupations, okay, so that you identified in your express entry profile. So in this way you can show one or more of the jobs in Canada while maintaining legal status in Canada. So this Canadian experience class, as it shows with its name, okay, they are only asking for those who have Canadian work experience, not overseas. So guys, cumulative means the work you have done must add up to 1 year. It does not have to be 1 year of continuous work. So hopefully you understand that. So please note that paid work experience gained while studying full-time at a post-secondary institution, for example, on a co-op work, terms and self-employment are not eligible under the Canadian experience class. So work experience calculation, this is I try to calculate a simple formula here. So some people will understand because we discussed two federal program streams. One is federal skilled worker program, another one is Canadian experience class. So you have listened to the word full-time and part-time and work experience in more than one job. So I have explained here the full-time work experience is equal to 30 hours paid work per week, which will be total 1,560 hours per year. This is called full-time work experience. And the part-time work experience is equal to 15 hours paid work per week, which will be total 1,560 hours in 2 years. Okay, because now you are working 15 hours in 1 week, so you need 2 years to complete these hours. Okay, and for this you need 30 hours per week to work, paid work, and then you will get these hours in 1 year. So work experience in more than one job is equal to at least 30 hours paid work per week, which will be total 1,560 hours per year. Guys, keep in mind, if you show the work experience which will be total, which you have gained in less than 1 year, 1,560 hours, you will not qualify. Then that is not acceptable. You must have to meet 1,560 hours either in 1 year by working 30 hours per week, or either in 2 years by working 15 hours per week. Okay, some of the jobs they require license. Suppose if you are a mechanic in Ontario, the province of Ontario, and you are working with somebody with some mechanics shops there, and you got like 2 years experience, and then you are applying for that job. No, you are not eligible, because for that mechanical job the province required licensing authorization. Your work experience will be counted when you will get your license for that occupation. When you will get that license, okay, from that date your experience will be counted. The second mandatory requirement is your education. You must have a Canadian bachelor's, master's or PhD degrees or its equivalent in another country. If you are applying for this stream, you must have a Canadian's bachelor's degree or master's degree or PhD degree. And those who have not studied in Canada and they got their master's with bachelor's or PhD degrees from India or Pakistan or from China or Philippines, from wherever in the world, they have to do their equivalency through these designated bodies here. Comparative Education Services, they are doing your assessment, your documents, and then they will make a report that your foreign qualification is equivalent to the Canadian bachelor's degree or equivalent to the master's degree or the PhD degrees. Okay, you must need this equivalent report from this designated organizations. Okay, so only two things I have to mention here. For the doctors, okay, they need to do their assessment through Medical Council of Canada, and those, okay, who are pharmacists, they have to do their assessment through Pharmacy Examination Board of Canada here, and the rest of all of the degrees, accountants and whatever, they have to do through these bodies. The third mandatory requirement is your language ability. The IRCC will check your language ability, okay, by getting your CLB level 7 or higher to qualify in Human Capital Priority Stream under OINP program. So this, if you get the results, you know that result must not be more than 2 years old from the date of submitting your application. There are two approved English language tests. The first one is IELTS General Training Test for the immigration purpose, or CELPIP General Test. You have to take either one, IELTS or CELPIP test. For the French language test, either you will have to take TEF Canada or TCF Canada. I will click this link here. So we will check the equivalency of CLB 7 under this IELTS and CELPIP and TCF Canada program. So just write down on Google language test equivalency chart, okay, the main heading here. Okay, you will get so many results there. Just click canada.ca website, then it will take you to this page here. So now on the same page we got all these 4 results. We just talked about CELPIP general test. So if you want to check CLB level 7 here, so now it means that in reading you have to take 7, in writing you have to take 7 score, in listening and speaking you have to get 7. So in each ability, in each of the 4 abilities you have to take score 7 or higher. Okay, means that, or you can take 8 also, 9 also, 10 also. It will be more good to score in the comprehensive ranking system. The second approved test is IELTS General Training. Okay, so CLB level 7 they require from you. So you will have to take in all 4 abilities 6. Okay, so once you get, this is the minimum level. Okay, if you get more higher, you will get more good score in your comprehensive ranking system. So this is TEF Canada. So in the TEF Canada, how much CLB 7 will become? So this line here, 207 to 232, 310 to 348, 249 to 279, and 310 to 348. Okay, we have to take all this line here, and then you will see here in all 4 abilities you have to get this score to qualify under this OINP stream. If you want to take TCF Canada, then first of all you have to go and check your level 7 here, okay, which is the minimum here. You can take 7 or higher. Then you have to take in reading 453 to 498. In writing you need 10 to 11. In listening you need 458 to 502, and 10-11 in speaking. So guys, in this way you can check your equivalency chart here, okay, and compare your CLB level 7 or whatever CLB level requires from you. Just go to this chart here. Okay, these are the approved language tests here: CELPIP, General, IELTS, TEF and TCF Canada. Then you can take any of these tests here, and you can compare your CLBs, whatever CLB is required from you. Just go to this chart here, in the CLB level chart here, and then you will see what score you have to get in all 4 abilities. Hope guys you have understood. The 4th mandatory requirement for this stream is settlement funds. Guys, you must keep in mind that whenever you are coming to Canada with you alone, or with your family members, or with your kids, you must have settlement funds with you so you can survive here. So you can meet this requirement if you meet the combination of the following or one of them. So if you have funds as demonstrated by the balance listed in the bank statement or statements of account showing other investments such as non-locked-in fixed term deposit and mutual funds, etc. Or if you show that how much is your annual earnings from ongoing employment in the province of Ontario, or you have a job offer in Ontario. Suppose if you have nothing but you have a job offer in Ontario, then still you are eligible. And if you want to see the money, how much, if you are coming along, so you need 12,960 Canadian dollars. If you are 2 people, then you need $16,135. If you are 3 people, then you need $19,836 Canadian dollars, and so on. So guys, you can read it. And if you want more, like how much money you will need, just you see the proof of funds, skilled migrants express entry, copy and paste on a Google, and just follow the link which shows canada.ca. It will take you to this page here, and then you will read in details the requirements of settlement of funds. Fifth mandatory requirement is intention to live in Ontario. Okay, OINP will determine this by examining your ties to Ontario, which can include things like you are working or have worked in Ontario. It will show your ties to this province, that you have made your mind to settle down and live permanently in the province of Ontario, or you get a job offer, or applying or interviewing for jobs, or you are studying in the College of the Ontario, okay, or you are doing some volunteer works in the province of Ontario, or you have leasing or owning a property, like you have some house or apartments or car on your name, so it will show that you have full intention to live in the province of Ontario, or you are visiting different places here, or you have professional networks and affiliations, family ties and personal relationships. So all these things shows your ties to the province of Ontario. So you must have to show your activities, under these things. Legal status in Canada. Okay, once you are applying, if you are applying from within Canada, you must have legal status. If you are not on legal status here, then this stream not for you, any stream not for you. So if you are applying from within Canada, you must be either a visitor record holder, or study permit holders, or a work permit holder at the time you apply, and should maintain that status until the time of nomination. Federal Skilled Worker Program, FSWP. If you choose to be assessed against the Federal Skilled Worker Program, you must score at least 67 points on the 6 selection factors out of 100. Okay, and the 6 selection factors are educational, language skills, work experience, age, and arranged employments in Canada, and adaptability. All these 6 selection factors, you must have to score 67 points out of 100. If you want to know more in the depth of these 6 selection factors, you have to click this YouTube link. Here is my video. Here made a full video on 6 selection factors and about this Federal Skilled Worker Program and Canadian Experience Program as well. So you can gain a lot of knowledge about that. So the application cost is $1,500 Canadian dollars, which will cover the cost of processing your application. So you can pay these fees only by Visa debit, MasterCard, and MasterCard debit. Okay, let us draw the result. I just want to mention this is the link here, the Government of Ontario website. So click here. It will take us to the OINP website. So just want to show you one very important thing. So they have mentioned here, they have arranged a draw on October 15, 2020. The Ontario Immigration Nominee Program issued targeted notification of interest to candidates who may qualify for Ontario's Express Entry Human Capital Priorities ICP stream. You may apply to the Human Capital Priorities stream if you received a notification of interest on October 15, 2020. So now I just mentioned in my video that those applicants who are receiving, or who received their notification of interest, from that day they have 45 calendar days. So these people who receive the notification of interest for this Human Capital Priorities stream on October 15, 2020, so from October 15, 2020, they have 45 calendar days to apply for the Human Capital Priorities stream. Okay, and can demonstrate that your work experience was in one of the eligible national occupation classification codes listed below. I just mentioned that. You see, these are the codes here: 0213, 2147, 2172, 2173, 2174, 2175. So for now they require these eligible no codes for this stream. And in the comprehensive ranking system, who scored between 462 marks to 470. So between these range, so under Express Entry Comprehensive Ranking System score, they got notification of interest. So now these people who received the notification of interest on October 15, from this date, they have 45 calendar days to apply for human capital priority stream. So guys, I just wanted to show that. Suppose if your application may be refused if you don't demonstrate work experience in one of the eligible no course here.